Good afternoon. Today we will briefly review some information that you will hopefully find helpful as you prepare for our fall parent conferences. We will go over signing parents up for conference times, what you should cover during your conferences, and some things that you can expect on the actual day of conferences, as well as a few special considerations. During your department meetings that follow this presentation, I will come around to answer any questions you may have. So there are many effective ways to sign parents up for conferences, which you can discuss within your departments. One way is to use the conference appointment sheet, which I have shared with you earlier. Please remember that any changes that you make to the dates and times need to be approved by administration. Advisors, once you get those sheets back from your students, you can confirm the appointment by sending this appointment letter that is linked here, or any other method that has worked for you in the past. If you do not get a conference schedule back from your advisee, please call or email or text the parent to schedule their conference. If you are unable to reach a parent or guardian, please complete the Student Support Services referral form that is linked here, and this will alert Ms. Gay and myself so that we know that we need to try to reach the parent for you to help you schedule your conferences. If you're trying to schedule a conference with a Spanish-speaking parent that does not return the appointment sheet, please email me, Ms. Perez, with that student's name as well as the available times that I can help you schedule. Also, if you know that you're going to need an interpreter for your conference, please complete the interpreter request form so one can be scheduled for you. So let's talk about the actual conferences. You will be expected to go over your students' academic progress, their attendance, make sure that their contact information is up to date. You're going to go over their SRI and Lexile data as well, and you're also going to distribute Title I paperwork. It's also nice to share any information you may have if you teach the student, and you can share some strengths that you've observed or any areas of concern that you may have. So first, academic progress. In your conference folder, you will receive a current copy of your students' progress reports. You are to give these to the parents so they can take that progress report home. And you will also go over the grades with them. It's good to maybe talk about PSP if you see any areas of concern or anything they need to work on. It's also a good opportunity to ask parents if they have a parent portal account. If they don't have one, there's going to be a few hard copies with instructions on how to sign up for a parent portal. Or you can also direct them to the link that's here, which is the district website, which will talk them through or walk them through how to sign up for a parent portal account. You can also, if there's any issues with their current parent portal account, if it comes up that they already have one, but they maybe have forgotten their password or couldn't get through the process of creating one, you can create a help desk ticket for the parent, and you will get instructions back on how to help them with that. You can offer to maybe email them later with those directions if you're pressed for time. If a parent or guardian wants more information as to why their student's grade is what it is, you can show them the actual grade book for a particular class. From the student schedule, you can click on what I think looks like a little notebook icon, which is under that class. And if you click on that, it'll open up the grade book for that particular class. You can then see if there are any missing assignments or if they have low summative assessments or whatever the issue is with that particular class. In your conference folders, you will also find your advisee's Lexile score reports along with a score interpretation report. So you're not expected to know all about SRIs and how to interpret those. That's what the sheet that will be included is for. But we do encourage you to ask parents to stop by the Media Center and to check out a book for their student. The Media Center will be set up by Lexile level to facilitate parents finding books in their students' Lexile range. You will also be going over attendance with parents, so please take a moment to review the student's attendance. This helps us spot issues, for example, in number 1, where it appears that the student may have been skipping 4th period and 7th period on those occasions. Other situations like number 2, where it looks like perhaps the student was out due to illness or a medical emergency or something like that. And the parent can then go ahead and write an excuse while they're there with you that can be turned into Ms. McCoy. We can also see situation number 3, where in this case the student's schedule had changed and he wasn't aware of the change or was unclear on that change and was attending the wrong class. So by looking at attendance, we can spot issues like that and address them with the parents. Contact information. You will receive a summary report for each of your advisees. Please ask parents to review the information and make sure that everything is up to date. If they need to make any changes, you can ask them to please cross out whatever is incorrect and provide the correct information, and then sign the sheet at the bottom. If it happens to be something simple like a phone number or an email, no problem. I can make those changes pretty quickly. If it's an address that has changed, the parent or guardian will need to go see Ms. McCoy and provide either a lease agreement, a utility bill, or a mortgage receipt showing the new address. If you could please put the sheets back in the folder that have changes made to them, then we can go ahead and process those. For the ones that don't have any changes, please shred or destroy these documents. There's no need to return those to me. Title I requirements. You will also find in your folder some Title I documents, including the Parent Engagement Plan and the Parent Compact. There's going to be 2 copies of what's called the Parent Acknowledgement, and that's this white document down here. There's going to be a copy for them to take home, which is going to be on white paper, and then there's going to be the same exact sheet but on colored paper. I believe it's going to be blue paper. And this sheet parents will need to sign, and once they do sign it, it goes back in the folder. This is a very important document, as Title I is what pays for awesome things in our building like PSP, extra support teachers, and a lot of classroom equipment. So we do want to make sure that we are in compliance and get that sheet completed. The Parent Engagement Plan is theirs to take home with them and has a lot of information about what Title I is, and also some resources that they can use to help their student. So what can you expect on the actual day of the conference? So you're going to have this folder that I keep referencing with all of these materials in them. Once I get this folder to you, which I will do as soon as I possibly can, please make sure that you have all of the materials that you need to hold your conferences, and email me if you need any extra copies of any documents. All the documents are also available in Spanish as well as English. So if I didn't provide you with enough copies in Spanish or enough copies in English, please just let me know and I will get those to you. You're going to ask every parent that comes to conference with you to sign in. Your classroom sign-in sheet needs to be turned back in with your other documents in the folder, and this one ultimately gets sent to the district office, and it's a very important document. It lets us know how many parents in the building we actually conferenced with. You may also want to set up a quasi-waiting area outside of your room where parents can wait for their conference while you meet with other parents privately in your classroom. And also, because all schools are conferencing on the same night, parents may have small children with them, and you may want to have either markers or coloring books or something available for the younger siblings to entertain themselves while you're talking with the parent or guardian. Also, parents may want to just drop in even if they're not scheduled to conference with you or if you're not their advisor. So it's a good idea to try to stay as close as possible to your room during this time so that you're available for parents. We do have a few special considerations. So if you have students who have a case manager, that case manager is the person responsible for holding the conference with that student, so you don't need to worry about that. You should be receiving an email from those case managers if you haven't already received one. If you realize during your conference that you need an interpreter, please call extension 21245, which is the Parent Resource Center, and there will hopefully be an interpreter on call that can come and help you with your conference. If a parent does not show up for their conference, please attempt to reschedule that either by sending home a reschedule note, which is linked here, or calling them or emailing them. If you find that a parent can only conference by phone because of their work schedule or for other reasons, then go ahead and do have that conference by phone. Let the parent know or guardian know that you will be sending home the materials with their student, and indicate on your sign-in sheet that you did hold that conference, but it was a phone conference. Please document all of your conferences, whether they be in person or by phone, in PLP. And if you are unable to reach a parent at all or a guardian, please complete the student services support form that was linked earlier and is linked here again, so that Ms. Gay and I can follow up and try to contact that parent for you. So that's all I have for you today. I will be sending all of you this presentation so that you can access it and have all the links at your disposal. Please, if you could complete the short survey that I will also be sending to you, that's going to count as your sign-in for this meeting and also the documentation that you have been informed of all the Title I requirements for parent conferences. I will be coming around to your department meetings to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for listening and have good conferences.